Hello, my Bill 5000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. All right, we are back with another That Chapter. Ooh. This one is titled, He Believed Taylor Swift Stalked Him, so he did the unthinkable. This was actually suggested by a viewer, and I'm excited to get into today's story. So, if you're excited, go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cup with someone special. Let's get intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm already intrigued. Let's be intrigued.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this whole video, I'm going to tell you the story of a Waffle House in Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee, to be specific.
Now, the person that suggested this to me was actually at the Waffle House. Yes, that is right. So I am excited.
Which I try to be. Unless I'm using the bathroom. This is one of those cases, right, where it's like, don't blame me, I was just following orders, blame the person I was listening to. But it just so happens the person they were listening to was like, the dog or something.
Across the top of the lid like that. Then I open up, so that's suspicious, I think that's suspicious that I see these fingerprints on there.
I was walking by trying to figure out who was knocking on my window. Someone's knocking on my window outside of the building.
These voices were telling him, though, that he was being stalked. Stalked by Taylor Swift, no less, which, hey, doesn't sound like much of a problem to me, you know what I mean? Though that's just how the story begins. It's not how it...
I mean, if Taylor Swift wants to stalk you, bro, you let T-Swizzle stalk you, alright? That's just how that rolls.
ends. So let's give it a go.
Let's give her you.
To begin, let's go to Antioch, which is a neighborhood in southeast Nashville, Tennessee. It's one of the fastest growing areas of the city, mainly because...
Love Tennessee. I do. Like, every vacation I ever went to whenever I was little was either to... It was to somewhere in Tennessee. I don't know why, but that was my parents' go-to place. Loved getting cabins out in the mountains. Loved it.
It's a decent location and the rent is a-okay with me. As far as crime rates go in the area, it seems to be kind of a mixed bag. Some people say it has a reputation of being not the safest, but others say, they've never felt in danger. It's always been a lovely area. More recently, though, there's been a surge, but we're not going to more recently. We're going to the year 2018.
2018.
At 3571 Murfreesboro Pike lies a Waffle House. That's in eastern Antioch.
Love Waffle House, by the way. Like, amazing food. Oh.
Along the busy road heading into or right out of downtown Nashville.
Especially after a long night of drinking. Don't know why.
It only opened just earlier that year, and so we are going there to the early morning of the 22nd of April 2018. Not to chow down, my friends, virtual breakfasts being the worst sort of breakfasts. I don't know where I'm going with this. What was I going to say? The point is that Waffle House and all Waffle Houses, they're open 24/7. Waffle House does not close, like, ever. There's even a metric called the Waffle House Index, where you can judge how bad a storm or hurricane will be by whether Waffle Houses are open or not. If the Waffle House near you closes during a storm, it basically just means you're fucked. And this Waffle House we are going to...
And the sad thing is, that's not the first time I've heard that. We have a subscriber that she has even said, like, Waffle House will stay open, they help serve, the first responders and stuff like that. If they're gone for whatever reason, you're screwed. You should not be there.
In Antioch, it was open at around 3:20 a.m. on the 22nd of April, 2018. It was a Sunday morning, people heading in for some soakage after a night out, and into the car park. That dark night pulled a gold...
Like I said, Waffle House is amazing after a long night of drinking. Nothing better than them pancakes, bro. Ooh.
Chevy Silverado pickup. The Waffle House was busy enough, there was over 20 customers inside, and the driver of that pickup stayed inside his vehicle and just watched for about 4 minutes. What he was doing during those 4 minutes,
Touching himself.
nobody knows. Just
There's a lot of things he could have been doing for 4 minutes alone in that vehicle. We all know that. We will not go into the details of what he could have been doing.
staring, thinking, preparing. Then, at 3:24, he got out. He was wearing nothing but a green jacket hanging down. But in his hands was an AR-15. He walked towards that Waffle House, and he started shooting.
Oh, fuck.
His name was Travis Reinking, and this was a long, and I mean like long time coming. There was a million warning signs, you know what I mean, that this was imminent, right? And still it happened. Many people's lives were ruined by this, while other people's lives were just ended.
That's awful. I'm not laughing. I was just he.
Travis was born on the 1st of February 1989. His parents Jeffrey and Judy. He was from the small town of Morton, Illinois. It's in central Illinois, small enough less than 20,000 people reside, and it is the self-declared pumpkin capital of the world. That's nice, good for them. You are the pumpkin capital of the world. Travis grew up in a middle-class house, one of 4, and he had everything he wanted. His dad owned his own company, J&J Cranes, a crane rental company, which operated out of Tremont, which is the next town over.
Crane rental. I mean, I get the premise, but who wakes up one morning and is like, man, you know something? I'm going to spend millions of dollars in cranes just to rent them out to people. That's going to be my job. That's smart. I mean, I'm not knocking it in any way, shape, or form by any means. Not at all. I just want to know who was sitting there one day and was just like, bro, whenever that construction crew fired me and I took all those cranes because, I just fucking took them. Why don't we open a thing and rent them out to other people?
They were a well-respected family, good peoples. Travis, he was homeschooled for pretty much all his youth. He spent 1 semester in the local high school, after which his parents were like, not really for him. Don't know why they took him. Nobody, there's zero records of why Travis was taken out of the local school and brought back home to be homeschooled. The teachers didn't remember him there. Other students didn't remember him there at all. He was one of those just very much under the radar sort of fellas.
That's awful. How does no one remember you? You figure someone will at least remember you. It might not be no one you want to remember you, but you figure at least somebody would remember you.
We feckin' made up for that later, let me tell you. After school, Travis got a job with the family business, working in the construction sector, and he began renting an apartment on his lonesome, which was in fact located above J&J Cranes. Now, it was in the middle of nowhere, no neighbors at all, so to speak. And so it was around the year 2014, when he was at the tender age of about 24 years old, 25 years old, that he started to hear things and see things. This was in his mid-20s, and
oh no.
Your mid-20s.
Oh no. His elevator ain't going up to the top floor no more. No, I take that back. His elevator is going up to the top floor, and now it is occupied with more people. Yay.
Is when you're most likely to develop schizophrenia, and Travis sure as hell did. But what was really the crux of it for Travis was when, in 2015, he went to a concert, a Taylor Swift gig, right? Big fan, I guess he is, and so he was having a good
T-Swizzle, yeah, I got you.
time, bopping away, and during that gig, he saw Taylor Swift mouth to him. And so after that, he was upset. Now, it seems very unlikely she did that. Like, he was seeing it. But he became completely obsessed with Taylor Swift after that.
Okay, so the story is about him thinking Taylor Swift stalked him. So he is obsessed with her being obsessed with him, and it's upsetting him. Damn. Okay.
Things going off the rails swiftly followed. He was obsessed. He started to believe they were boyfriend-girlfriend, that she was speaking to him, talking to him, sending him messages. He began writing letters to her.
The Illuminati is real. Okay, I just want to make sure
And that she was speaking to him, talking to him, sending him messages. He began writing letters to her. God knows where these letters are actually going in reality. I mean, who knows? Here's a letter. Taylor, I'm really confused right now. I don't know if it was you in the pictures on Instagram or someone who looks like you. Do you really have a twin sister? Which is the one I'm in love with then? I want the Taylor that wrote those beautiful songs and sang to me at her concert. Maybe Taylor 1 wrote half and Taylor 2 wrote half. Maybe I saw Taylor 1 in Morton and Taylor 2 in concert. Who was the girl in the music videos then? Yeah, he completely believed.
So is this like a cat and hat thing? Is there thing 1 and thing 2? Boy, dumb one, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Wow. Okay.
They were boyfriend, girlfriend, they would fight, they would send messages, shoot to each other, they would talk to each other all the time. Obviously, this was completely up here. And he did not keep it to himself. He was happily, yapping away. Oh, jeez. Ball and chain, Taylor Swift, she's acting up again. Women, what? And people were, This was just the start. And his parents soon become, deservedly so, very, very worried about young Travis, who was, the delusions were only getting worse. It was in May 2016 that his parents called the county sheriff, asking essentially for help about what he was going through. He clearly needed help. He was going off the rail. Like, he was telling them, they were sending messages to each other all the time, writing letters. She was communicating with him all the time. He even claimed that once him and Taylor Swift had agreed to meet at the local Dairy Queen. And when he arrived,
at the fucking DQ? Bro, you don't even know. You know how many times I met OT Swizzle at DQ? Man, she loves them blizzards with the core in it. I'm telling you, bro, every time.
Saw her, she sprinted off and then Spider-Man'd up a building. And he was like, where's she gone? He was utterly paranoid at this point, believing that his parents and the police were also in on it too. So clearly he needed some help, right? It was help he would never really get. So after his parents called the police, saying, here, listen, we need to take him to a hospital. He needs treatment. He resisted.
He needs help. He needs the help that comes with, degrees on the wall, those fancy glasses, the little book, the leather chair, the little couch that you sit on, then you eventually lay down on, and then the box of Kleenexes that you cry into. That's the help he needs.
But he went eventually. He was in for about 9 days. And the doctors were like, well, here's a prescription. You are diagnosed with schizophrenia. You're good to go, pal. Take care, champ. He got his, the medication, but he was not taking shit. A couple of months later, he moved to Salida, Colorado, and he lived there from August 2016 to the following March 2017, working in the crane industry for a family friend. There, people would say he was a nice, polite, friendly guy who was obsessed with Taylor Swift. He was telling all the co-workers, yeah, we're getting married. He even bought a 14 grand diamond ring for their wedding, but he would also say that she was stalking him. He was now saying she had done the old switcheroo and she was hacking his computers and breaking into his apartment and doing it all.
Well, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it wasn't Swift 1. Maybe it was Swift 2. Thing 1, Thing 2. T-Swizzle 1, T-Swizzle 2. I don't know. Hell, he might think there's 3 of them. Like he said, there's one there, there's one there, there's the one in the videos. We just don't know which one he's talking about. Is this a phone call? Are we going to actually hear him saying, oh God?
911 emergency.
Yeah.
This motherfucker called 911 and told him that T-Swizzle was stalking him. Are you fucking kidding me?
I need to report something, and every time I go to the sheriff's office, it's closed.
Okay, what do you need to report?
I have somebody stalking me around town, and I do not appreciate it. I want it to stop. And no one seems to take me seriously when I say that.
Okay, and who is it that's stalking you?
Taylor Swift.
Okay, and what is your name?
I have mad respect for that 911 operator. Oh, for the love of God, I got mad respect for it. I would have bust out laughing harder than I just did here. And he would have heard. Oh, he would have fucking heard. Oh, God. I'd been the first person. Yeah, I already know. You could tell she was like, just that long pause, she was like, oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. I was so gonna call in sick today. I got out of bed, I looked at my old man, and I was like, baby, I don't want to go in today. Why? I just don't feel like dealing with stupid today. And, he's like, something you deserve today. You work hard, you're beautiful, do you? Run you a milk bath, light you some candles, put on some music. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. Do what you do, baby. But no, I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to work. This is the shit I get stuck with. Okay, and what's your name?
Travis, ranking. I mean, everywhere I go, like, they're stalking on the internet, they're stalking me, like, in person, everywhere I go. I'm pretty sure, like, the police here are involved in it. And, like, I want it to stop. It's stupid. No one has the right to do that to me.
What exactly are they doing?
They're getting, like, they're doing some kind of, like, I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but somehow they're, like, getting on my Facebook, they're getting on my YouTube, they're getting on my Netflix, and they're changing the videos that I see as they pop up.
He eventually left after he believed the police.
They're Are you just skipping the videos by chance? Like, I mean, I've been on YouTube a time or two. I don't know a lot about YouTube, but I've been on there a time or two. And know sometimes, it skips to the next video. That's what it's supposed to do. Especially if you have autoplay on. Same way with TV shows on Netflix. If it just goes on for like 3 episodes and then it says, "Are you still there?" and you have to hit A. Or press any button or whatever the case may be. Did no one tell him about that?
Were in on it too, and so the owner of that construction company in Colorado calls Jeffrey Ryan King and be like, "Hey, listen, I think your son might need some help. He's not altogether together. Like, his parents fully knew what was going on. Nothing kind of really happened, though. I mean, you know how I began this story.
Yeah.
He moved back to the apartment in Tremont, and 3 months later, he approached an employee of his father's business wearing nothing but a pink dress and carrying an AR-15, screaming at this other employee. You don't usually want someone screaming at you when they're carrying a rifle. And so after he ran away, he ran into his car and he drove off. And then later that same day, he went to a public pool in...
Okay, I'm going. Where did he get the pink dress from? I mean, I don't care that he's got it by any means, but why the pink dress and a gun? Would he dress up and pretend to be Taylor Swift? Is that what it was? Was he stalking himself in this guy? Oh God.
in Illinois, and he jumped in again wearing the pink dress. And so when the police were called to be, hey, there's this guy doing odd stuff in this public pool, well, he took off all his clothes and he just showed them his dick. So he did love hanging dong, but at this stage, clearly, well, his family knew something was wrong. His friends knew something was wrong, and nothing
I know something's wrong, and I'm not even fucking there.
happened again.
My parents had me taken to a mental institution for looking for Taylor Swift.
I think they should have left him there.
Because a long time ago, I had read some stuff on the internet, and it made me think that she was uptown. So I was like, I'll just go look uptown and see if she's up there, And I asked my mom to go with me, because I was like, I don't want to be bored just playing this game, So I'll have someone go with me, and they can help me, find this person, And so I asked my mom to go. Next thing I know, we're out front of CVS, and the police are pulling up. This guy comes out from ERS, the police pull up, and I'm being arrested and everything. This is where I live, this is where I reside. No one can come in here. The door is locked. There's nothing saying anyone can come in here. And so, anyway, I come in here, I come into my bathroom, and I notice in my bathroom that the toilet seat is up. The toilet seat is up on my toilet. I haven't put my toilet seat up. I know for a fact that this toilet seat was down. I know for a fact that the toilet seat was down. I never put my toilet seat up because I don't like it messing up my toilet. And yet this is what's happened. And then before, I have come in here and the door will be cracked like that. It's not all the way shut. It's not all the way open. I always leave it all the way open, or I leave it all the way shut. So somebody has been coming.
By fucking golly, cause there is no such thing as MB fucking tween here. Oh God. This isn't funny. I'm laughing, yes. I'm an asshole, okay? Don't Yeah, I don't care. You can judge me all you want. It is what it is. Yes, I am laughing. It's not funny though. He legitimately thinks that. Okay, there's been times where it's like, I know I put that toilet seat down, or I know I've shut that door, or everyone gets those moments. It's gotta be 10 times worse for him. It's gotta be, and it could just been something as simple as a breeze slightly pushed the door open, or the house has really good seal to it, and whenever he shut a door, things happen. It really things happen. But in his mind, it's fuck 911 time, But just hearing it's funny to hear, but it's really not. But it is. I'm not.
In here. And then, like I said to my dad the other day, there was fingerprints on the sides of my laptop. There's fingerprints on the sides. I never opened the lid that way. Why is somebody coming in my apartment and doing this stuff? You know, this is illegal. Why is somebody getting on my private property like that? Why is someone going to my bathroom? And that's the thing, is I know for a fact that I never lift the toilet seat. I never put the toilet seat up. I never do that. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe once in a while, you know, if I've been drinking or something like that, I don't know, you know, maybe I'll lift it up then, you know, just because I don't know why. But I know for a fact, before I left here today, just to go to Starbucks, that was down.
I mean, if anybody saw, like, if his parents, friends saw this video, he was slipping through the cracks, or people just didn't know how to deal with him. I don't know.
Like, if I'd seen this video, I would have laughed my ass off, like I did. Even if I didn't know like the backstory or anything, to me, I would just think it was someone making a funny rant about stupid shit, like, you know, that you see on TVs, on YouTubes, and TikTokies, and all that good shit. I would probably laugh. I would not have taken it seriously. That's how ridiculous that sounds. And I know that's horrible to say, but
Have to be a pretty feckin' big crack. Then, in July 2017, right, so I'm just listing through all of the incidents that Travis was up to. In July 2017, he went to the White House, and he demanded an audience with Trump at the time. You know, he said he was a sovereign citizen, and he had a right to inspect the grounds. He's very lucky he wasn't shot by the Secret Service. But he was saying he was a sovereign citizen, and he did not recognize the U.S. government. Unfortunately, though, the government recognized him. So for trying to break into the White House, he got the mighty punishment of 32 community service hours. And the police, they did take all his guns away from him. He had like an assault rifle, handguns, all sorts of stuff.
oh,
Shotguns and all. The police, they were like, okay, listen, you can't have a firearm, obviously. So they took it all away, and they later gave it to his dad, Jeffrey, who later gave it back to Travis. So.
Yeah.
In the autumn of 2017, Travis then moved to Nashville, Tennessee, which is where Taylor Swift calls home. So then in February, literally like it's like every 2 months, something happens. A big red flag happens, but the race doesn't stop.
Of course not.
In February 2018, in Alcoa, which is 3 hours east of Nashville, the police were once again called on Travis Reinking. A young mother was staying at a motel with her 2 small children, and Travis was right outside her room. He was shouting and roaring, claiming that, you know, people were stalking him, people were harassing him, people were like outside his room window looking in. So he was roaring her head off, and this young mother, she went out and she's like, here, listen, my kids are trying to sleep, would you just maybe shut up? So he then burst into her room and he started threatening her. So the police were called.
I came out here to my car, and this man down here was running.
Let him come into a hotel room with my babies in there and start screaming at me. I would have stabbed him in his motherfucking throat. Bro, he's lucky all she did was call the police. Nah, they've been calling ambulance.
Up and down these, up the top, and then down here screaming at everyone's door, telling them he'll make as much noise as he wants. And I looked at him, I said, I have kids, and they're getting ready for bed. And he was right there in that white truck, literally ran into our hotel and tried to hit me. Acted like he was going to put his hands on me.
Where's he at now?
He's down there with the man that owns this place.
Down towards
They're
the
walking
office,
toward the office.
237.
Hey man, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
I don't know, I'm trying to get a refund.
Okay, we just got a call that you just went in somebody else's room.
No, I didn't go in anyone's room.
Alright, you got your ID on you?
Yeah.
The reason I'm here is we just got a call from, I think it's room 125, that you went into the room without being invited in, basically.
No, I didn't ever go in the room.
Okay, were you banging on the door or anything like that?
No, I was walking by trying to figure out who's knocking on my window. Someone's knocking on my window outside of the building,
They come outside on the railing, right out front of the door. You know, there's no one usually standing right in front of my door.
Okay.
And they'll be talking loud at night. They'll knock on the windows and then walk off, and I don't know who it is.
Okay.
And they do this just to harass somebody. And it's several nights in a row, and I got sick of it, so I went out. I'm walking up and down the porch, and I'm making noise, you know, because I don't like it. I don't like shit like that. I don't want other people to understand how I feel.
Okay.
You know, when people are just being loud, noisy for no fucking reason. This lady then comes walking up and she's like, "What are you doing?" Blah blah blah. You know, and sticking her nose in the business. Like, hey, if you just got here, I mean, apparently you had nothing to do with it. But now she wants to police people, and it's just like, what are you doing? You know, just leave me alone.
The lady, she declined to press charges, and Travis left.
You're saying one thing, she's saying something different, so it's he said, she said at this point. I would, yeah, I'd recommend just, you know, if you're going to try to get out of here, find you another place, all right? So, all right, man.
And it's true. It's he said, she said. Like if he would have actually did something to her, I would hate it if he did, especially for the kids. But if he would have, they probably could have done something, and whatever is about to happen probably wouldn't have happened. It probably still could have. We don't know, but for sure. Damn. We just watched a Mr. Bowling video. It's like, well, what if? Like the second video it was a 3-story video. The second one, it was like all a bunch of like, well, what if this? What if? The what ifs will get you, bro. I'm telling you.
He again worked in construction until early April 2018 when he was fired. He got another job swiftly after. He showed up for one day and then never again. Then in May 2018, he somehow, he went to a BMW dealership. He somehow was able to steal the key for a car. He led the police on this like GTA, very brief police chase.
This is like the chillest fucking police chase I've ever seen in my freaking life.
And then abandoned the car outside his apartment.
It's like a Sunday drive. La 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 la.
Outside his apartment complex. So the car was recovered. They used GPS to find it, but they didn't know who had done it. So they didn't arrest him. They didn't know Travis was responsible. And then, in the early hours of May 22nd, 2018, Travis, that dark night, he pulled into the parking lot of the Waffle House in Antioch and watched. After 4 minutes, he got out with an assault rifle.
With the dress or without the dress? I want to know. What?
He opened fire at 2 people standing outside. One was Joe Perez Jr., who had stopped by because he had a flat tire, and another was Tareen Sanderlin, a cook who had stepped outside for a smoke break. Then he began shooting into the restaurant, and he marched in, firing all the way, while terrified patrons ducked for cover. Some hid in the bathroom calling 911, some played dead, others tried to get into the bathrooms, but the doors were locked. And then Travis began shooting at the people huddled on the floor. Ultimately, 4 people would be killed by Travis that night. Joe Perez Jr., Tareen Sanderlin, D'Ebony Groves, and Aquila De Silva. It would have also been a hell of a lot more if not for the extremely brave actions of one of the customers inside, 29-year-old James Shaw Jr. When Travis burst in, he ran, but he slipped as he ran towards the bathroom. A bullet had grazed his elbow, and so when Travis got in there, James lunged for him. He grabbed the rifle by its red-hot barrel, completely scalding his hand, and he managed to struggle with Travis, ultimately winning and tossing the weapon behind the counter. They then wrestled for a bit, Travis lost his jacket, and then Travis ran outside. Travis then booked it into the woods nearby. The whole thing lasted for 42 seconds. The police were late arriving, actually, because they went to the wrong Waffle House, but when they arrived at the scene...
Ain't that some shit? They can find every Waffle House in the world but the right one.
It was absolute carnage. The truck, it was identified quickly and linked to Travis right away. It wasn't much of a whodunit. And then the manhunt began.
According to witnesses, the person of interest in this matter, a Travis Reinking, arrived in his pickup truck. He got out. There were persons outside the restaurant talking. He shot them. He then went inside the restaurant. More shots were fired, and one of the patrons was hit. The police department special response team, officers from a variety of components of the police department, as well as our helicopter, is up now trying to find him.
Travis, he had run all the way back to his apartment. He had showered, he had changed, and he had put together a backpack which included a handgun. The police, they arrived there swiftly after, but they just missed him.
We're telling everybody to be very cautious. We don't want to alarm people, but certainly everybody should take precaution.
Residents were advised to lock their doors, the dogs came out, the whirlybirds came out, and Travis even made it briefly to the FBI's 10 most wanted.
That's cool, though.
The manhunt for Travis Reinking lasted 36 hours before this call was made.
And he's in behind the elementary school, headed towards the TVA lines in the woods. From a distance, it looks like this guy. He's got mud all over him.
Travis Reinking was arrested and charged with the 4 murders along with a host of other charges. And finally, Travis Reinking was, well, not necessarily sure if it's where he belongs, but at least there he couldn't hurt anyone else or himself. Though he had already done enough damage, that's for sure.
Wow.
Diebony Groves was 21 years old, a senior at Belmont University, a top student and a star athlete. Aquila da Silva was 23 years old, and it seems he had a budding music career ahead. He was a rapper and video producer, he was hardworking, and he had a bright future. Torian Sanderlin was 29 years old, a Tennessee native, and he'd been working at that Waffle House for about 5 years. He was known as a loving family man. Joe Perez was 20, from Texas, and he worked in an appliance store. He was only at that Waffle House as he had a flat tire and he had pulled in. He was actually calling his brother to help him out when Travis arrived. The call never went through.
How's it going, everybody? So last night I went out with my best friend. We went to a club out in Antioch, the Antioch area. If it was gonna come down to it, he was gonna have to work to kill me. So at the time that he was either reloading or the gun jammed or whatever happened is when I ran through the swivel door. I hit him with the swivel door, and then the gun was kind of jammed up and it was pushed down, so we were scuffling. Yeah, I knew I had it in me, but I haven't had any specific combat training. It's just, I fight my daughter every night so I can put her to bed, but...
That was cute.
Okay. Mr. Rankin, you've got 4 new charges. I'm the magistrate with the Night Court, and we're here to tell you your charges and the amount of your bond. You have 4 charges for criminal homicide. Total bond is $2 million. Do you have any question about your charges or your bond?
No, I don't.
Okay, sir.
In August 2018, Travis Reinking, he was deemed incompetent to stand at trial. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. However, the judge later reversed what the psychologists and the psychiatrists said and deemed him fit to stand trial. He was like, you're good enough. He was indicted on 17 counts and he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity.
We'll begin with the defense and the prosecution with their opening arguments expected to come down, setting the stage for the rest of the trial. And keep in mind, just as Aaron said, the defense will address the issue of Travis Reinking's sanity or lack of it at the time of the crime. The prosecution will make the point that he knew the difference from right or wrong and that he would not have ran from the scene of the shooting if he didn't know the difference.
His trial began in early 2022. His defense, rested on he was not.
That's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Schizophrenia ain't nothing to mess with. But, I mean, you can't murder that many people and expect no consequences? Now, should he be in prison his whole life? Yes, 100%. He's a piece should have killed someone, more than someone. But I say put him in a mental place first, get him good to where he knows what's going on, then throw his ass back in there. That way he knows how much he's suffering. Don't let him suffer inside of his ignorance and bliss. Fuck that. Make him normal. That way he can dread it.
Mentally well, he didn't know what he was doing. He was not in control. He was not, he was not there.
Is that Travis Reinking is severely mentally ill. He's schizophrenic. And he's battled this for years. And you're going to hear expert testimony to talk about a 3 to 5 year period leading up to that night. When he's in Nashville, he is completely untethered from reality. And he is driven by his delusion that people are after him. You're going to hear a testimony that Mr. Reinking believed that he could communicate with aliens and was regularly communicating with aliens. That Mr. Reinking believed he could speak directly to God. You're going to hear that Mr. Reinking believed he was commanded by God to go to the Waffle House.
I thought he was commanded by T Swizzle.
In defense of himself.
Is T Swizzle called?
Himself and other people. That the people at the Waffle House, in his mind, were government agents. That were responsible for all the torment that he was perceiving over those years.
The prosecution, though, were arguing he planned everything he did. He knew it, and he followed true with it.
Now, when Travis Reinking showed up to that Waffle House, he chose not to wear any clothing other than that green jacket that carried the 2 additional magazines, the 60 additional rounds. He fired 30.
So this fool went up in there butt ass naked, caca flopping with just a green jacket on. What the? Hey, gives whole new meaning to going balls out, don't it?
30 rounds. Travis Reinking made a choice. He made several choices that led to the shooting. Travis Reinking went there to take something that couldn't be given back. He went there to take lives. The evidence will be that this was an act of revenge done out of anger.
In the Criminal Court of Davidson County, Tennessee, Division 6, State of Tennessee versus Travis J. Reinking, we, the jury, unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder. Guilty. Count 2, we, the jury.
He was found guilty on all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the
Hell
possibility of parole.
That's what you get, bud. You can't kill people. Bad things happen to your booty.
Punishment of imprisonment for life without possibility of parole or imprisonment for life.
And there he remains today, hopefully getting the treatment he should have gotten many, many years before.
Yeah. Make him perfectly sane to finish out his days.
James Shaw Jr. is a recognized hero, deservedly so. He saved, countless lives, if not for his actions to stop Travis. Many, many more would have been murdered. Really brave guy. He ended up raising a load of money for the victims' families as well. He was like, fair play to him.
Travis Ringking is accused of killing 4 people at a Waffle House in Nashville last year. Prosecutors say his father, Jeffrey Ringking, who lives in Morton, Illinois, was holding Travis's guns because his FOID card was revoked. However, they say Dad Jeffrey gave them back to son Travis.
Travis's dad, Jeffrey Reinking, he too would be arrested because, well, you know, he did give the gun back to his son, who is clearly mentally ill, and the same gun he would use when he walked into that Waffle House. The authorities initially did the right thing by saying this guy should not have a gun. And then Jeffrey was like, whoops. He hasn't been sentenced yet. I understand he applied for a new attorney. He could get up to 3 years in prison or probation. Good. Travis was like really, really screwed. I mean, it's one of those cases. I don't really know what to think. He clearly needed help. Help he never got, even though there was, you know, red flags everywhere. I mean, he was insane at the time. Clearly, he, you know, there's a lot of instances of him not being in the right frame of mind. But then
definitely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, my dude.
And he also cruelly murdered 4 people and injured a hell of a lot more too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should he be in a hospital right now? Should he be in prison right now? You know,
both.
Let me know your thoughts about this case as always down below. I don't really feel there's any kind of clear conclusion to this.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot of shit went wrong that shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of wraps this one up. Not really in a nice little bow, but I mean, is there ever in life? So
he's got a point. But no, seriously, like, I feel bad for dude because, you know, all the stuff that is going on with him, that has got to be extremely, extremely hard, especially, and I wish he could have got help before and lived a happy, normal life. But I honestly think I get he lost his mind at that point, but he didn't take his medicine. They tried to get him help. He didn't take his medicine. Even Mike said that at the beginning. Like, you're going to do that, and they're not going to take the medicine. You finally get to the point. It's like, well, why should I help you if you're not going to help yourself? So, you know what I mean? But I think he should be in a mental facility until he is deemed competent enough to spend the rest of his life in prison feeling awful and miserable the right way. That's what I think. And if you guys out there might want to think like me sometime, go down there and hit that thumbs up. Let me know you do. If you're a fan of the spooky, scary, strange, think about subscribing. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Man, that's crazy, though. And maybe out there living by himself around nothingness other than the people he works with, loud noises, machinery, exhaust fumes, and gas, and everything else from all these machines. And he was around other people, and maybe he wouldn't have lost his mind nearly as bad. Or honestly, hell, he probably would have lost it sooner, faster, stronger, better. I don't fucking know.